Welcome to the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. Get ready to be inspired, uplifted, and connected to the miraculous energy of unconditional love that I call Mother Mary. If you're a highly sensitive, highly creative entrepreneur or light worker, and you want to magnify your impact and your intuition, you are in the right place. I'm your host, Reverend Frances Faden, interfaith minister, intuitive coach, and author of Meditation is Friendship with God. I can't wait to share miraculous stories, books, meditations, messages, and interviews with other miraculous light workers just like you. Are you ready to magnify your miracles? What are we waiting for? Let's get started. Hello, my miraculous friend, and welcome to another episode of the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. This is Reverend Frances Faden, and I'm so grateful to get to spend this time with you today. So let's get started like I always like to do by taking a few deep breaths together, just to get ourselves grounded and centered. Breathing in the energy of expansion, breathing out anything that you no longer need, and just coming deeply into the now. And whatever it is that you would really benefit from hearing today, whatever message would really touch your soul, will help move you forward, will help you to magnify your miracles, know that that is what is the plan for today. Now that's exactly what you're going to be receiving. So let's take a few more deep breaths together in gratitude. And we can begin. All right, my friends. Well, welcome once again. And I just have to share with you that I wasn't planning on talking about this today. I was all ready to do a book review, which I'll do my book review for you next week. But Mother Mary asked me this morning when I got up, she said, I really want you to talk about this, and I really want you to share your experience. So the first thing I'm going to say is please understand that as an interfaith minister, I never ask you to believe what I believe. I respect all of your beliefs, whatever they are, no matter how different they might be than mine. It's perfectly fine. But I am here to share my experience, strength, and hope with you so that perhaps it would be of benefit to you, because I do think that as highly sensitive people, when we share what we're going through and we share the things that are working for us, we all can get stronger and we can all lift each other up. So I'm recording this podcast after finding out that Vice President Joe Biden has won the election here in the United States. Now, before you say, I don't want to hear about the election, I'm not going to be talking about the election. I'm going to be talking about the energetics of what I experienced and what I think it speaks to what I've been going through for the last 4 years and what you might be going through in a different situation, especially if you're a highly sensitive person. So this isn't about politics. This isn't about personalities. This is about energy. And this is about us taking 100% responsibility for our own energy and our own experience. So one of the reasons that I don't like to talk about politics is because it's very much of the ego. People's egos get in there and it's a battle for power and all of that. And even though I do think that good can come out of it, it's not a realm that, for me, I really resonate with. I do my civic duty. I get involved, all of that. But do I want to make my life about that? No, I don't. My life is about inspiring you. My life is about helping you connect with the divine presence. My life is about helping you let go of limiting beliefs so that you can step into the truth of who you are and help you magnify your miracles. That's why I'm here. So why am I talking about this? Well, I will share with you my own experience that the current president that is in the White House is what I would call a very triggering figure for me personally. He's got a lot of characteristics of my half-brother, very, very similar, and it makes me honestly feel unsafe. My brother is an undiagnosed person. I think he's got a lot of mental illness issues and has never been diagnosed. And I also feel similarly about this president, that he's got a lot of things that have not been diagnosed. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like he has anybody in his life who cares about him enough to help him with that, which is actually really sad to me. So he reminds me a lot of my brother, which means that my own inner child got really, really scared 4 years ago. And then over the last 4 years has continued to be scared, traumatized, watching things happen, feeling powerless over them, all of that. That's my story. Now, that might not be your story. You might have a completely different story with this president. You might have a completely different story with other things in your life, and that's okay. You know that when you're with me, whatever you feel is absolutely okay, but I'm just sharing what's going on inside of me. Now, I knew that what was going on for me personally was not the same thing as what I wanted to take care of on a political level. So on a political level, did I call my senators? Yes. Did I call my congresspeople? Yes. Did I align myself and take action? Yeah, absolutely. I did all the things that an adult would do, but I needed to also take care of the part of me emotionally that was really freaked out. And so I've been doing the best I can. But I will share with you, my friends, that seeing this president on his way out and seeing somebody else come in who does not remind me of my brother who has an undiagnosed mental illness, somebody who I can feel their faith in God, somebody who feels genuinely kind to me, it was such a huge relief to me that I was actually shocked at how much energy was freed in me yesterday when I got this news. Not only just on the level of feeling joyful, there's going to be change and there's going to be progress. Again, on the adult level, yay, this is good news, this is progress, at least for me and my beliefs. But how much that part of me that has been really, really scared, the part of me that's been really triggered, the part of me that's just been feeling powerless the way I felt when I was a little girl, how much energy it took just to get through the day, the week, just kind of that numbing of more bad news and more bad news. I didn't realize how much it was affecting me. Now, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because there's many, many ways that you are probably being affected by toxic energy and you don't even know it, or you've just gotten so used to it. I work with a lot of my private mentoring clients, and right now, actually, I'm working with several of them who their boss reminds them of their abusive dad, or there's something else that's in their work environment that's bringing up the dysfunction of what they were raised in, or maybe they're in a relationship where old feelings are coming up. It's just across the board, and so it's not my job to tell you what's toxic or what's not toxic for you. My job is to mirror your energy to you and to show you how things are impacting you. Now, I don't have a lot of people that can do that for me. Unfortunately, that's the thing that I do for a lot of other people. So I have to pay really close attention. And it's one of the things I teach my clients to do, is to pay really close attention and be the observer in your own life, so you get to learn how to work with your own energy. Through this process of coaching my clients, I have seen what happens every time my client gets out of a dysfunctional relationship, leaves a toxic environment, does something on their behalf to champion that wounded inner child, to say, I deserve more than this. I deserve better than this. Now, if I use myself as an example, it's really amazing to me because I don't live with the president and I don't work with the president and I'm not on Twitter, so I don't really get any news from the president, like nothing. He's not in my energy field on that level. And yet, the fact that he is in the news and the fact that he's making these decisions that impact me and impact my friends, and I see these things happening, was affecting me so much that yesterday, again, I was crying. I wasn't crying just because I was happy. I was crying because I was releasing so much stress out of my body. The stress, the bracing myself of like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? Now, I used to work for somebody a lot like the president. I used to work for somebody who, in my opinion, was a rageaholic. And every day I'd go into work and I would brace myself. And I also think that's what was going on, like a constant bracing myself of like, uh-oh, what's going to be happening. Now, again, I'm just saying that this is for me. This might not be your experience, and I'm not judging anybody in any kind of a way except to say this is what I experienced, because this is what my stuff is that I need to heal, right? I think we all need to take our own healing seriously and not wait for the government or anybody else to do it for us. As long as we're waiting for other people to make us feel better, the power is outside of ourselves. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't take action, be politically active. Quite the opposite. I think we need to all be involved and be really good citizens. But it does mean that we have to take into account our own emotional well-being. And if I'm 100% honest with you, I could have done a better job. I could have done a much better job of not following some stories on Facebook. I could have done a better job of tuning out some headlines. I could have done a much better job of getting into conversations with family members. I didn't do it a lot, but now I see the impact of doing it. It took a lot of energy because it just stoked the fear that was in me. So I'm going to ask you now to take a look at your life, to take an inventory of your life, and to ask yourself honestly, where is there toxic energy in my life? Am I working in a toxic environment? If you have a job, am I working for a toxic boss? Am I in an environment where things are really challenging for me in a way that's more than I can reasonably process? Am I working in an environment where there's no way to work through the things that are dysfunctional? Because that can happen. You know, sometimes we're in a situation and there's a way to work through it, and then it's up to us to do that. And a lot of times we're in a situation where there's no way forward. Now, if you're an entrepreneur like I am, you can take a look and see, am I working with clients that I love working with, or do I have some toxic clients? Do I have clients that are really a big energy drain for me that I feel worse after I work with them? I'm blessed to say I don't have any of that. I love all of my clients, and my clients are all amazing. And I've worked for a really long time to continue to attract people I love working with, because that wasn't always the case. So look and see your home environment. Is it supporting your happiness and your well-being? The friends that you have, do they support your happiness and your well-being? Just kind of take an inventory, the books that you're reading, the TV shows that you're watching, the food that you're eating, the stuff that you're drinking, what you're consuming. Is it supporting your happiness and your well-being? And if it's not, I want you to really think about it and look at what can you do? What can you do to really help yourself to relieve the stress? Because what it does, and this is what I've learned, is it creates a lot of internal stress. And it takes energy to kind of manage that stress. And that energy could be going to healing other parts of your body. That energy that's managing that stress could be going to you manifesting your big dream, finding your soulmate. It could be going to you breaking through the financial ceiling and making whatever amount of money that you want to make. It could be about you acting on your intuition and bringing forth this thing that you feel needs to come through you that's going to really help heal the world. All of those things are possible when we don't have the daily stress of toxic energy. So I'm expecting great things of myself over these next few years. I'm expecting great things of you. I look forward to hearing from all the things that you're doing now that this energy is freed up. And again, if it doesn't have anything to do with politics for you, bravo, I bow at your feet. But I want to take a look and see, where do you have energy drains in your life that are pulling your energy down, that you're willing to take a stand for yourself and say, I matter, and this isn't okay, and I'm going to create something different for myself. You know, one of the things that Mother Mary has said that sticks in my mind, because she said it to me and then she wanted me to share it with everybody else, and that is, if you want to alleviate the suffering in the world, start with your own. So powerful. So powerful. So I'm going to leave that with you, my friends. And I really encourage you to take a look around and to get rid of the energy drains however you can, and start filling your life up with things that support your happiness and your well-being. Because remember, we know that the key to magnifying your miracles is to recognize that your miracle is already here. If our miracle is already here, then it means it's our job to start working on our awareness to expand that awareness so that we know and we see those miracles happening all the time. So I'd love to hear from you. I'd love you to leave a comment and let me know your thoughts about this. If there's any way that I can support you in moving through some of this energy, I'm happy to do that. Leave a comment. If you love this episode and if you love this podcast, I'd love for you to leave me a review and please let your friends know about it. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. I'm so grateful to be able to spend this time with you. If you want even more inspiration, feel free to visit my website, francisfaden.com or magnifyyourmiracles.com. And if you did enjoy this episode, I would really appreciate it if you left a review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever it is that you connect with awesome podcasts. Remember, the key to magnifying your miracles is remembering that your miracle is already here.